What's up, dudes? ET13 and welcome back to another video, and today we'll be breaking down the latest news of the monster names found on the set of Godzilla King of the Monsters through the multiple news sites and media that went there this last spring and fall, winter time in 2017, and some of these are really weird. Now, I may still opt and do the news articles. However, I may not because there wasn't a whole lot to break down, and there's so many news websites and media that went there, and there's just so much info, I don't think I could get it all, and I may let somebody else do that. But anyway, let's get back to this. I feel like it's necessary to talk about the new monster names. So to start off, we're going to talk about Abaddon from Cambodia. And before I discuss what I think this monster is, please note, as you'll see on your screen right now, the Monarch Sciences website, one of the unknown outposts. And now I'm going to put up an image of Cambodia. That monster is at that location. They are in Cambodia, both of them, so we know where that one is located. Anyway, to move on, what I think the monster is. This name, as all of them except for Kong, they all have a biblical essence to them. They all were in the Bible, some way, shape, or form. So I looked up the definition of Abaddon, and pardon me if I don't pronounce these names right. I don't know. The definitions are death, destruction, hell, destroyer, and the devil. Those are just some of the definitions, and whatever this monster is, it sounds powerful and vicious. Now, this is a callback back to about 2012, and I'm going to start playing footage, and I want you to listen to the words, because I'm going to overlay an audio file of this trailer and what was said in it. Anyway, here it is.
We knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that one way or another.
Now, this was the 2012 Comic-Con teaser trailer for Godzilla 2014. If you listened, now granted there was a lot of static, but if you listened, you heard Oppenheimer say, "Now I have become death, the destroyer of worlds." And while he's talking, there's an overlay of destruction and dead bodies everywhere. That is basically what this monster's name is defining. Now, you might be wondering, what are you talking about? I'm talking about, what if Vishnu, that's what we called him, Vishnu, the multi-armed, unnamed monster, is this? Legendary created that design. Now, it was a placeholder, but they still created it. They have monsters they can use, but this one fits it the best because in it, talking about Vishnu, they say, "Now I've become death, the destroyer of worlds," right after saying Vishnu's name. Now, I know they're talking about Godzilla and trying to really promote him, but you cannot deny that while they're talking, that whole quote is talking about Vishnu. It is clearly saying Vishnu said, "Now I've become death, the destroyer of worlds." I think, now this may not be true, but I think that this monster is Vishnu, because that is a biblical term. This is a biblical monster name. It fits. It does connect. This is a legendary. They created this monster their own. We don't know they have a full design, but they at least paid some sort of money to create this and show that. They must have a full render of this monster. I think that this could be that. And really and honestly, Vishnu, through the death, they could connect him to being sort of like the devil. Maybe he does come out of the ground because he does have multiple arms. We don't know that. But some people pointed out that John Goodman's character in Kong Skull Island said, "There'll never be a more screwed up time in Washington." And then we see Ghidorah and Rodan demolish Washington, D.C. Now, granted, that may not be actual connective tissue, but it could be. Now granted, this is a big if, but this could be connecting these two. 7 years apart, that's a thing. They may not have thought about that, but Michael Dougherty knows what he's doing. He said he wanted to connect stuff, and how this does connect to the greater Monsterverse. This trailer cannot be shoved under the rug. This is an awesome trailer. I love this. I would love to see Vishnu come back, and I think that this could be him. Not sure. Another definition is he is the king of locusts, and locusts have multiple legs, but that's being stupid there. But anyway, it's also defined as the abyss. Multiple armed creatures use multiple arms to get around and most of the time climb. Vishnu could be something along that line. It would not surprise me. Plus, the monster in the trailer does look kind of sort of like an insect to a certain extent. I think that this could be it. But anyway, let's move on. Like I said earlier, Kong, or I may have not said this, I don't remember, but Kong was also found, and I'm not going to go into detail because we know what Kong is. We don't need to talk about him. But anyway, let's get on to Leviathan. And before we get into what Leviathan's defined as, it is found beneath the Indian Ocean. And as you can see on your screen right now, there's no Monarch outpost beneath the Indian Ocean. Which is quite weird, because I believe the rest of these do. However, we'll get to those a little bit later. But anyway, Leviathan is defined as whales, which could be a reference to Godzilla. However, we already know what Godzilla's name is. It's not Leviathan. He is also known as a deity of some sorts, or a demon, or monster, or a dragon, which all of these do seem pretty normal for what we know will happen in King of the Monsters so far. They were worshipped as monsters or demons or anything like that. But to continue on, it's also defined as Behemoth. In 1958, Warner Brothers made a movie called The Giant Behemoth. And that was based heavily on the Bible, and that's why they called it The Behemoth. Could this be a hint at a Behemoth remake? Because Warner Brothers doesn't have to buy anything. They already own the movie. I think this could be a hint, and I believe that this may be a confirmation. But to continue on, it's also known as Satan, a crocodile. Or we could go by this movie called Beneath Loch Ness, and it may be the Loch Ness Monster. But that one's a little out of range because you already have a Loch Ness Monster blip of some sorts. But this isn't the first time Godzilla fans have heard the term Leviathan. And this may connect to King Ghidorah. In Season 2, Episode 1 of Godzilla the series from 1998 to 99, they were in a spaceship called Leviathan. The Leviathan was a spaceship that crash-landed millions of years ago and was shut down, and it was an alien spaceship. King Ghidorah is rumored, and I believe it may have been confirmed, that he does have his alien origins. Or at least space origins. What if these were the aliens? Because this would be beneath the ocean, this spaceship. And that may be why we don't have a blip, is because they keep it more classified than anything else. Though then again, there was that one-liner talking about how people believing aliens are crazy in Kong Skull Island. But again, they may have found this very recently. However, if this is anything, I believe it's either a whole new monster we haven't seen, the giant behemoth, or it is the spaceship. I don't think it's the Loch Ness Monster because we already have one. But anyway, on to Sargon of Mexico. So researching him, he was a Sumerian king in Mesopotamia. He ruled Akkad, which is some sort of old ancient city that's no longer here. But that's it. That's all. I couldn't find anything else relating to this. Though I did research a little bit and I found out that in the movie The Scorpion King, it was the second one, he was in there as some sort of, somebody played him as the villain or something. Now, this is really, 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 really going on a limb. But Mexico, Scorpion, the Black Scorpion took place in Mexico. Now, granted, that is probably the most out-of-this-world thing I could predict, but if I have to predict anything, I would say that this is the Scorpion or whatever we saw in the trailer or the TV spot, because there are lots of oil fields in Mexico, and the only other place could be the place, it looks like it's in Arizona. I'm not too sure, but that's the only other one that Scorpion or whatever could be coming up from. Another thing is they could have, like they already did with the Rodan site, they could have retconned it and changed it to Mexico, but hasn't done that yet because they don't want people to find out what's there, you know? But, like I said, going out on a limb, I would have to say the Black Scorpion, and again, Warner Brothers owns that movie, so they could be potentially hinting at a remake. And if not a remake, Michael Dougherty said that there's Easter eggs loaded from 1953's Beast from 20,000 Fathoms to 2014 Godzilla. There's Easter eggs from all movies in that time span. So, if these aren't the actual monsters, like not new ones or not the actual ones from those movies, these could just be very big Easter eggs of those. But anyway, let's get on to the 4 that we do not have locations for. To start off, we're going to discuss Baphomet. Now, when I researched, I could not find hardly anything that helped me out here. But I did get the facts of it is a deity. It's also known for wisdom. It also represents the sum of total of the universe. It's good and bad, female, male, basically all the opposites. It's also apparently a half human, half goat, and it's also known as the devil, from what I got, and it's also a demon. I guess back in the 1700s, knights worshipped it thinking that it was a good thing, when it wasn't an actual good thing, it was a bad thing. But that's all I have on that one. I can't talk any more about that. But anyway, continuing on, we have the Bunyip. I think I said that right. The definition of Bunyip is mythical, amphibious monster inhabiting inland waterways. However, doing some further research, it is an Australian cryptid with a dog-like face, a crocodile-like body, and a few other things, but, as you'll see on your screen right now, Monarch has an outpost in Australia, inland as well. An inland base. This creature, according to one of the definitions, is an Australian inland. It's basically combining the two. An inland waterways monster from Australia. And there we go. So I believe that confirms what this one is. So that's pretty cool. And, I don't know what they're going to do for some of these designs. Some of these seem so crazy that they may have to work on how they're going to show these. But anyway, let's get on to Methuselah. Here we are, down to the last 2. Now, before I start telling you descriptions of these 2, I do have to say that I have no idea where these could be located because we do not have any info whatsoever or any hints where these could be located. To start off, we have Methuselah, who is the oldest person that lived in the Bible, and he was one of only 2 people left serving God in the Bible. Now, this could mean that they found the quote-unquote oldest monster, which could be Orochi. I mean, Orochi is what quote-unquote birthed Japan, but It could be something more along the lines of a Cthulhu or something, but I doubt it'd be Cthulhu. But I do think that oldest living person in the Bible hints towards this is the oldest living kaiju on the planet. Another thing is maybe that there is a older Godzilla, or maybe a monster over Godzilla, and that's the one that serves that monster, and Godzilla does too, and they're the only ones left. Or that's really trying to go far with it, but I do believe that it is the oldest living kaiju on the planet, from what we know. And there's nowhere I can guess this is at because we don't have any info. But anyway, let's get on to that last kaiju and wrap this up. We have Typhoon, or Typhon, whatever. It is a Greek monstrous. It tried to overthrow Zeus, but lost, and it is considered the mightiest of all monsters in the Greek mythology. So, this monster seems like this would be a good one to go up against Godzilla. And I looked, and there's nowhere near Greece. There is in Africa, but that's the only places, possibly the places in Africa, and I'll throw the image up on the screen right now for you to see, but that's the only place it could be. Other than that, I don't know really where it could be located. That's basically it. This Typhoon or whatever monster, it sounds cool, and I think that this would be a great monster. Really, all of these I like the idea of. Now, I don't know, maybe that one or two of these could be the scrap designs from Godzilla 2014, and if you guys want me to, I'll make a separate video on that. But I think that'll be it for me here. I've went through and I've done a detailed work on all these. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think one of these monsters could be, or if you like my idea, say which one you like the most, or just comment down below something related to these monsters. Like I said, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like the video. And as always, don't let King Kong make a monkey out of you, G fans. See ya.